Napita na mita ya mta kulipa milimita, napitia mita kadhaa na pitishwa mamita, juni mama sita. Dem ameiva, ana trend kama nganga. Dem anajulikana, trend kama nganga. Kuna vile anagawa kwa 20 tuko wengi kama tengenyo makuni. Form ni beti saka keja matasema kuji. Mafans ni wengi kabag za ndugu nyama kima. Dish ni nyanya supu ya mama pima. Leo sidai kungeko na vile ninadai kusema. Maji imekatika niteko inapampia stima. Gizani anapenda kutenda ushirikina. Ni mdepi siezi jizuia. Napita na mita ya mta kulipa milimita, napitia mita kadhaa na pitishwa mamita, juni mama sita. Dem ameiva, ana trend kama nganga. Dem anajulikana, trend kama nganga. Kuna vile anagawa, kuna vile anagawa. Kila siku na kwa ni dawa. Ukihang na mabawa kabla moto atazima. DJ katisha ndio katika kujipima. Chunga pole stima transforma itaji pika. Nisa jopo kiluka futawisa. Cheza na mwiko ni kapi nao inapikwa. Kuna kule jirani leo mate itakiluniko. Kuna calls kijani I hope elections utapita. Napita na mita ya mta kulipa milimita, napitia mita kadhaa na pitishwa mamita, juni mama sita. Dem ameiva.
Yes, welcome to the Rhythm Scoop Show on the Blackwood Fan Network Media for the 21st century, being on the 27th day of the month of January. The year is 2022, and I'll be excited to be with you on yet another wonderful broadcast of the Rhythm Scoop Show with Blackwood Fan Network Media for the 21st century. We would say in Swahili karibuni sana, which simply means you are much welcome. On a wonderful Thursday like this, we shall be serving you some wonderful throwbacks as well as getting you updated on what is happening around the beautiful continent of Africa. My name is Spikes alongside my co-host Kate and Joby.
Yes, karibuni sana to another episode of the Rhythm Scoop Show. It's all about entertainment, art and culture as always, and we are bringing you nothing but positive vibes. I'm having a very serious headache, but I hope I'm gonna be as entertaining as I can. My name is Joby.
Welcome.
Why are you laughing? Kate is laughing because I'm saying I have a serious headache. Yes, because I have a serious headache. A very serious headache.
I'm sorry. Anyway, family, welcome to the Rhythm Scoop Show. We're hoping that we will bring you nothing less but positive vibes. And do make sure you go at our website and interact with the rest of the family. Share your thoughts and share your knowledge as well. What you know, you can share with the rest of the family and interact with the rest of the family. Karibuni sana. My name is Katie.
And being on that, like I said, it's all good, and we are serving you wonderful vibes. Today we shall be looking into what is happening in Uganda. Also what's going on with Nigeria. I mean, the reason as to why I have not really even commented much is I have had, especially ladies, I've had ladies say, you know, I was at the salon yesterday, and you know, the salonist pulled my head this way, pull my head that way, and maybe that is why my head is not doing well. I'm like, you and the salonist. So
yeah,
I'm like, there is a price. There is a price.
Because you are from the salon. What did you expect?
So I would say there is a common Kikuyu proverb which says Mwediodaka Dasha, which simply means that if you actually ask for it, then you get it. But anyhow, family, welcome to yet another wonderful broadcast. And like I said, we are on the official website. It's www.blackwoodfanetwork.com. Someone else is also, I don't know if it's Hanger Pumps, but anyhow, family, we want to welcome you to the broadcast. And now we are looking forward to having an enjoyable one. We just played your song by the one and only Gusto Gabu, and he was singing about someone trending. Like there was this particular popular pastor in Kenya. He is known as a Pastor Nganga,
and he's still trends.
He still trends. Yeah, he still trends.
I have a video of him yesterday. He was telling people, if you're looking for a girl, make sure you don't find the beautiful girl, like you,
because all the other people will be trying to get her as well.
Yeah, you should find a girl who is 10% beautiful, because men will not come for her.
I will not listen to Pastor Nganga. I have not seen Pastor Nganga's wife, but I'm sure she's not ugly. So you cannot be preaching wine, you cannot be preaching water and drinking wine. So I do not have an idea what Nganga's Pastor Nganga's wives look like. But for him, of course, he's a tycoon. By now, let me just call him a tycoon because his church is do full, they are full of people. People flock up in a church. I can't remember. It's called Nano. Yeah, it's called Nano Evangelism, and that is where you will find all sorts of things happening. I believe they own a TV station. I think I have watched it because of the interest after having seen what was trending on social media.
Sasa
And
TV.
it's known as Sasa. And the thing is, when people get to church there, people have expectations of miracles. And I have seen him, it's called exorcism. Him saying that he is conducting exorcism, and people flock up to these churches for deliverance and exorcism. And you'll find all sorts of shenanigans. People rolling on the floor, others jumping up, and then there also the pastor slapping them. Anyhow, people put themselves through a lot of stuff, but this is how Africa is like. It's unfortunate, but people will find themselves in difficult situations they put themselves in because of desperation, and also sometimes because of ignorance. You will go check out what is happening on the TV and think that this is the reality, but when you go and visit on the ground, things are a little bit much difficult. Today we shall be going into Uganda. In Uganda, there was arrest of one particular individual who is a writer. And this writer was actually being arrested because he said something regarding the son of the president. And the funny thing is that once he was released, before he actually got home, he was also arrested again. And I don't know what kind of laws in Uganda, Uganda gets to operate under. But I believe if you're taken to court and you're arraigned, and maybe you're charged, some penalties, maybe perhaps because of a thing that you had said on social media. I don't understand why you should be released, or the judge has ordered that you be released because you have met the conditions. Maybe you have been released on a bond, and then before you actually even get home, which is maybe a few hours, then you are actually arrested again. And this is a kind of a trend we did see the same Museveni practicing for any kind of a voice of dissent in this country. We did have the former opposition leader. His name was Besigye. So what used to happen is that even through when it came to campaign season, Besigye was trying to do some campaign and popularize his name amongst the electorate. But what used to happen is that on his campaign trail, he used to get arrested. You're going to do your campaign maybe in the eastern part of the country or the southern part of the country. But when you are on your campaign trail, the government comes up and say, the security forces comes up and say they are there to pick you because there's some orders that you'll be picked up because you have said something which is against, and they will come up and say you're a terrorist or you're actually sparking controversy and chaos in the country by the use of your words. So this is how the culture in Uganda has been. Apart from Besigye, we also do know what has happened with Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine was put under house arrest. In Kenya, I have seen a lot of people, showing interest in Ugandan elections, but it's the same thing that happens. And at some point, Bobby Wine had to tell Museveni that you got into power through, the use of guns and the weapon. We might have to kick you out of power with the same guns and weapons that you got into power with. You remember there was a former president, Milton Obote. Before that, we also did have Idi Amin Dada. Idi Amin Dada had actually gotten into power after throwing out Milton Obote. And then Idi Amin Dada was also thrown out by forces, of course, from Uganda and Tanzania. And then from that, we also did have now Museveni throwing out Milton Obote once again after he had gotten back into power. So the history of Ugandan's politics is a funny one, but what I would like to see is people also rising up. Bobby Wine has been calling people also to rise up and also act appropriately. I don't know for Kate and Zobi, when you look at Museveni's presidency, do you think that there is anything that perhaps the people themselves on the ground can do in terms of getting to support maybe a grassroots kind of an individual, or do you think the fate is sealed for the country, for Uganda as a country?
Well, he won't live forever, that is one. He is definitely going to die. Two, mine are just simple. He's going to die. Three, it's either he dies when he's in power or when he's out of power, or it's either people are going to kill him, because I believe, as much as we Africans have been put into so much, I don't think with the generation and the rising generation, anyone wants to keep on seeing what we see every day, the lies on the media, like literally everything that is going on around us. People need a change, and I believe for Uganda, I feel for Uganda, it's like they are still the most people who are affected when you speak of like being enslaved, because it's like you are on some sort of slavery,
Yeah.
you know, which is being controlled by your own leader, because you know he's the one to say for you guys how to dress, what he doesn't want in his country, of course, which is okay. But when it comes to you also invading in people's matter, because if you go to Uganda, I heard there's some ways you cannot dress, there's some things you cannot do, you know, which is okay. But again, it's either he's gonna be, you know, it's either they're gonna make a coup out of it.
They might have a coup. They might have a coup. I'm not sure. But in Uganda, you know, this man was arrested simply because he said the president's son was obese. You know, you're saying your son is fat and your son is oversized, and that is a reason for his arrest. So
that's petty.
Sorry, what?
It's petty.
Yeah, it's petty. It's like, I remember in Burundi, there was some school children who drew the image of the president, and they drew him as a cartoon, and they got arrested. Which is crazy. These are school children who are in their primary school, and they're just having fun, you know, making cartoons of the president. But they were making an image of John Pierre Nkurunziza, who is late, and they got arrested. I've had people getting arrested in Africa for trivial things. So this individual, his name is Kokwenza Rukirabashaiza. They have long names in Uganda as well as in Rwanda and also in Burundi. Kokwenza Rukirabashaiza was arrested in December for allegedly offending the President Museveni and his son on Twitter. This was from what this writer had actually said. Lawyers for the Ugandan satirical novelist was charged with insulting the country's ruling family, and also he said that the client was unlawfully detained in defiance of a court order for his release issued just hours earlier. So before he could even go home, after the court had ordered him to be released, before he got home, he was arrested again. And this is very, very funny. This is intolerance, and this is intolerance from these dictators whose time is actually over. If you get to ask me, I think the time for dictators such as Museveni is actually over. In as much as you want to cling on to power, I would agree that he will not be there. He will not be there for so long. But anyhow, family, we shall be taking a short music break. But when we come back, we shall also be letting you know what is happening in other parts of the continent. We shall be taking you to Malawi and also other different parts of the continent, where we shall be addressing news and updates from these areas as they come out. This is a jam which is known as a Vanity by Star Kid. We hope that you get to enjoy this particular one as we continue with the broadcast. It's by Star Kid.
Catholic spokesman of Black Panther fame has died at the age of 43. Catholic vote.
Yes, that was Starkey Darkos once again. The name of the jam is Vanity, and I agree with him. You know, vanity, everything that we do have variety actually amounts pretty much to, you know, vanity. In as much as people might want to get greedy, I do see, for example, corrupt officials on the continent really amassing a whole lot of wealth, but these are things that you do not even really need. You know, you can survive without these particular things, but you want to amass wealth while other people are actually living in extreme poverty, and you do not want to share. When it gets to when it gets time for you to die, you're actually buried in a grave, and with you take nothing. I am not saying they should die poor, but I am saying that you know, some of these people, you do way too much, and of course you do also get to press people way too much. This is a Rhythm Scoop Show on the Blackwood Fan Network Media for the 21st century. I do see a comment here from Shepo Simono. Thank you so much for joining us. You saying I put in himself to dive and kill his ass. I have seen the CIA do much more for less. You know, during the 1960s and also early 70s, there were so many African leaders that were taken out simply because they were not following those orders. You know, they were put there by the CIA in the first place, and therefore, if they actually did not toe the line, you would hear someone has died from a heart attack in their office, or they're still in power. You would hear someone else something has happened to them, and all these kinds of deaths were mysterious during the late 60s. You know, after most countries had gained the independence in the mid 60s, in the late 60s and the early 70s, there was these kinds of stories you would hear on the news, and the CIA operatives around the continent. Even right now, if you go to different African countries, you will find a lot of agents in those countries. You do not know what's happening, but you might be thinking they are there for other businesses while they are there.
If you were given the opportunity to kill him, what will you do? You
cannot just put out that info on YouTube. Like give it unless you damn. Anyhow, K Williams, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, unless you damn. Anyhow, I was today. I spent it is a comment from on this show. I was thinking this was a comment. I was a comment from Kitty's show. Our words for today. Allah spent mistakes is not only more honorable but more meaningful, more useful than Allah spent doing nothing. 100%. Those sounds like what was the name of this writer? Was it Oscar Wilde? Was he known as Oscar Wilde, or what was the name of that particular? I think I've heard that particular quote before from. To remember the name of that particular writer. I think he was Oscar Wilde or something. Anyhow, thank you so much for being with us on the broadcast. We truly value and appreciate your time. And we do hope that you are. I always, when I hear Dr. Mombi speak, I always remember her saying, I hope that you live in life in your own terms. But for you to be able to live life in your own terms, you'd have to be first and foremost at peace with yourself. So I'm hoping that everyone, as you get to embark on the activities of the day, you are getting to, you are at peace, and you are also manifesting positive things. Yesterday we went on to what can I call it? Not really a motivational talk, but it was on. We were discussing about issues of life, and we went into manifestation and other things. Kate and Joby, fix my damn chicken sandwich. That is,
Go back to Africa.
What was wrong with her? I just had the video play. I did not see her. I just had the video play, and I was thinking she might not be well. She said she's a biologist. Yeah. And she said she was a biologist.
Yeah.
Well and good for the biologist. It's good for her. But she went on. I think there was something with her mentor, which is she was not well.
No, actually, for me, I said she's really crazy. Of which everyone has like their own temper, but for me, it was like how she was really screaming all over, and trying to relate the situation because. I've ever yelled at someone like
because
that.
Of food?
Not because of food, but like when you're trying to yell at someone, or rather even any man.
If you're yelling over chicken sandwich, people are different. For me, you will not find me yelling over.
I told you a chicken sandwich and you're bringing me.
People like to pick up fights over the wrong things, but anyhow.
Thank you, Keith, for the compliment about the hair.
That was her. Let her do her. But anyhow, family, I was just saying I want to take us into what is happening about in Mozambique. Mozambique once again has been hit by a natural disaster, which is known as Anna. And I was always saying that every other time we do have natural disasters happening, for example, cyclones, tsunamis, and all these other things, they are named after women. I think there are only a few instances where I've had them named after men. I cannot even really remember when they were named after men. But of course, we also refer to the earth as, as Mother Earth or Mother Nature. So I would understand why maybe perhaps they are named after the names of women. And this particular one has been named after, it's been known as the tropical storm Anna. And Anna is not an African name. I don't think Anna is an African name. It has come maybe from with these Portuguese or with these, I think it's an African name. But Tropical Storm Anna has caused widespread destruction and triggered flooding across Southeast Africa. Fatalities were reported in several countries, including Mozambique, Malawi, Uganda. In Mozambique, the death toll has risen to at least 8 people. The country's National Institute for Disaster Management said on Wednesday. And when this particular the tropical storm, right, it reminds me of last year. Was it last year or last year? But when we did have a cyclone hit in Mozambique, and there was total devastation. I think that particular cyclone was known as Cyclone Idai in Mozambique. I think even till today, the country has never really recovered. It has never really recovered. It's like it was the magnitude of the devastation was really, really crazy, and the government was talking about helping people recover. But if you look at the capability of Mozambique, and not just Mozambique, but even the other country that has been named, Mozambique, Malawi, and Uganda, these are 3 poor countries where you do not find the government offering adequate support. And also, I believe there should be warning. When it comes to disaster preparedness, you might not be able to be completely prepared for a disaster, because sometimes these are natural calamities, you never know when they might hit. But there should be a disaster response unit or a disaster management commission or authority which will be responsible for helping families in times of a need like this. But what you do find is that these disaster management or response authorities are really underfunded, and therefore you do find, for example, when people are displaced, from natural calamities like this, they take a whole lot of time before they build back their lives once again. So when it comes to building back their lives, it becomes very, very difficult, because most of them, actually the bigger percentage of them, are people living in extreme poverty. So I would actually just say that Africa should be able to get better in terms of disaster preparedness and also response. And even comparatively, in Africa, we do not have these natural calamities as you might have heard of them in other different, for example, in Asia. In Asia, you will hear of so many natural disasters happening in Asia. In Africa, I would say we are lucky. It's not every other day on the news we hear about these calamities, the landslides, the cyclones, the tsunamis. We are, I would say, relatively lucky compared to the occurrence of these events in other parts of the world. Africa is really sort of, let me say, safe, quote unquote safe from regular occurrences of these natural calamities. But even when they do occur, the government in Mozambique, the government in Malawi, the government also in Uganda, and also these are the African countries where we do hear of natural calamities regularly, should step up their effort in terms of making sure that there is funding also for these disaster management agencies that would be able to help the families in need when these particular such particular kind of calamities strike. So, like you had in Mozambique, at least 8 people have died. The storm made landfall in southern eastern Africa on Monday, January 24th, and carried through Tuesday with winds reaching up to 100 kilometers. These are the winds strong enough to blow off your roof, to carry your property. For example, if something like I believe even livestock, you might leave your livestock out there just to come look for your goat, and has been carried away by the wind, or other different kinds of properties are being carried away by the wind. So I would say the government should focus mostly on making sure that they strengthen these disaster management authorities or agencies, and also create awareness, to the public, because sometimes the awareness is not there from even the meteorological department. We do not have proper resources in the continent of Africa, and therefore even much more investment should be made towards getting to strengthen our meteorological department, and also getting the science and technology that we need to be able to respond accurately, or to be able to respond better. Kid Newsome, you're saying, I'm so happy she took out that blonde stuff. That was Katie, and do it again, Katie. What did the crazy lady say? I'm very happy said before. I'm not sure, but the lady was nice. That is why you find people killing each other over the chicken. When it was a Papa's chicken, people trying, people fighting. Yeah, go on.
I saw the same. I was like, if she had a gun, without
she would have shot someone.
Yeah, how she was really reacting, she would have shot someone, especially the white
Mind
guy.
your own business. No, the black.
And she
the
kept
African,
yelling.
And the white man too.
Yeah, mind your own business. I'm not talking to you. Mind your own.
The thing is, she even has a problem with Africans because she says, I'm not down with you Africans. And then what she was saying, I'm not down with you Africans. So you look at her like this, she's a biologist and she says she's educated and she purports to know things.
She's not.
But she also says, I'm not down with you Africans. Anyhow, I remember Chris Rock. Chris Rock was actually saying that between black people and white people who are more racist, and he actually came to a conclusion that black people since because even black people don't even like other black people, which is a problem. I would not say we are
No,
more
for her,
racist.
she was complaining. She was like,
No, she was saying she's not down with you Africans.
No, she was like, you African people sold us out, and I was trying to,
Is that what she said?
We were trying to relate with Kid early in the morning, like, we all have to understand,
But
even if they blame us, we are the generation that is being pointed fingers on, still it is not our fault.
Not even the fault, but how do you seclude yourself and say
Exactly.
you the
You're also
African people?
African.
Anyway, we shall be taking a short music break. When we come back, we do have news and updates from Katie ends of
Leave
as
me
well.
alone.
And that's what's up. The name of the next jam right here is actually one of our favorite. It's this is Thank You by Alexa Wolf. We are always jamming some music by Alexa Wolf. We hope that you get to love it as well.
Beats by Purchase your tracks today.
Life ain't easy, but live it with God.
is Lex the Wolf right there, and Lex the Wolf is always jamming. His music is soulful. I'm looking forward to the wonderful exploits. Very hard. So hopefully we shall be having a new music coming out from the brother from Nigeria. We want to go in onto other matters on what is happening. Of course, Cameroon right now. Families are still yet to come to terms with the loss from the loss of their loved ones after many people did perish from a stampede that did happen at a stadium where they were expected to go and enjoy the an AFCON match between the host Cameroon and Comoros. Comoros is the people of the Comoros Island. So, you know, there was at the start of these particular games, there was a complaint from the organizers saying that not enough people are showing up to these stadiums to go and show love and support for the game. Cameroonians are not even involved or interested in going and watching the games. And at some point, you know, they were saying it might not even make a whole lot of economic sense, you know, from the perspective of the organizers not getting to sell enough tickets. Not getting to have enough people. They would only now make more money from the TV revenues that are regenerated from getting to stream or getting to showcase these particular matches on TV. And for about a whole week, the response was not really positive. But the country decided that they will be going in and they will be marketing it, and so that people can turn up to stadiums. But at the same time, they did not look into the matter of the security and also the matter of how people will be organized when getting into these particular stadiums. At some point, they had said if you want to go watch the match, you have to, you know, have gotten tested or have gotten the jab. And then from there, they saw the numbers were not really good, so they removed those particular kind of requirements to say people could go and watch the match. So in one of these stadiums, where now there was the game between the host country, which is Cameroon, and Comoros, people decided to flog, and there was a stampede at the gate of that particular stadium, and many people did lose their lives. So about 8 people did die from this particular stampede, and like I was saying, the government has ordered an investigation. The president of Cameroon is known as Paul Biya. He has ordered for an investigation into the whole issue and how it came about, you know, the preparedness. We have when people go to concerts and when people go to watch these big matches and flock, people sometimes are too much, I would call it adrenaline rush. Sometimes people are not even thinking, well, they are too much hyped. You want to move with the hype, you want to move with the flow, you're going with, you know, what other people are doing. Not many people pause for a minute to think what kind of a danger that they are getting into. And this is the exact same thing that happened in Cameroon with people, you know, flocking up in that particular stadium. And there was also the transfer, or there was the switching up from the schedule for the stadiums where these games were supposed to be conducted. And now the government has talked about it has improved the situation right there. These two countries, Cameroon and also Ghana, these are the countries, and also Nigeria, these are the countries where people are mostly known to be crazy about football. Even when it comes to East Africa is not crazy about soccer like West Africans are. West Africans, I understand. For example, for Ghana is a funny country. For example, for Ghana, what they get to do is that when there is a football match, for example, the Ghana team is in the World Cup, or maybe their team is in the AFCON, what gets to happen is that everyone stops what they are doing in Ghana, and they mostly want to focus on football. What I did here is that even when they go to the goofy churches, what happens is that the pastor, before everything else goes on, the pastor has to pray for the team, pray for this Ghanaian team, so that when they go into the pitch, they win. Apart from that, when you do have, for example, like the newscasters on major TV channels, they wear the jerseys, they read the news wearing the jerseys of this football team, or the colors of this particular football team. So everything revolves around football. If it's the news, if it's the church, if it's in schools, everything revolves around football in Ghana, which is funny. But this is a level of, what can I call it, psychophancy. Yeah, they are fanatics. I would say they are fanatics, and the level of fanaticism is crazy. Of course, fanaticism is also crazy, but this is exactly what happens. So people ought to use their common sense, and also use their mind, and also I would think things a matter where people are not thinking very, very well. So many people did get to lose their lives in that particular one. But of course, there has been an investigation which has been ordered by the president. But I do not see this bringing up any kind of solution for the country. You know, if you have died and you have lost your lives, there's no coming back from that. there might be they organize.
There might be a coming back, because actually there's a certain news when you have mentioned that, and it has made me relate to this one. Right now they're saying that in US, cryonics lab are currently keeping some heads and bodies, 200 heads and bodies from 200 bodies and people, frozen, with the hope of bringing them back to life through the advance.
Where is that? What part of US is that?
In US, they're not saying where, but they're saying that everyday technology advances in so many ways to make our lives more efficient and convenient. But the US lab is hoping to bring your diseased loved ones back to life among the living through the world of technology. This is totally crazy.
So the ones who would be Return of the Living Dead. It will be like sounds like it's from a movie, like from a movie scene. That is what they are talking about. They want to bring people back to life.
It is in Arizona, actually.
That's in Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's wait and see how that one actually works out for them, and the efforts to bring people back to life from the dead. This is, I think, for me, it's crazy. Sounds like it's far-fetched and crazy, because when you're gone, you know that you're dead. When you say clinical dead is when your brain dead. Your brain.
So this literally means some bodies, like some people, when they lose their people, they might not even get the right bodies, because they might take someone's body, trying to observe it, because it is the brain they're using, and freezing the body, freezing your mind and the body itself. I
do not know exactly how they want to achieve that, but for me, I do know that we are working towards the era or the age of transhumanism. You're in part human and part machine, and so I do know that what is happening with that is that eventually you will find many people believing in the same, and also maybe perhaps it's being done. If they say it's being done, probably it's being done somewhere. That is my thinking.
Yeah, because they're saying a national cryonic lab currently has 200 heads and bodies frozen, because they are hoping to advanced technology will provide the ability to bring them back to life. And what else? For about $200,000, and the company will freeze an entire dead body for $80,000. And you can freeze your head in courtesy of the cryonic process. You're hoping that you'll bring your loved one back to life. That is what they're saying. But this is totally crazy, and definitely many people are going to fall for this, hoping, rather waste so much amount of money trying to bring people back to life.
I do not know what the goal is. If you're given the whole eternity to live, I'm not sure what you will be doing with that. I have seen, of course, many people on movies talking about the people being given the ability to live forever. I'm not really sure if that would be a brilliant idea. But anyhow, family, this is a Rhythm Scoop show on the Blackwood Financial Media for the 21st century. It's always a delight to have you tune in, and of course, getting to engage on different issues. And of course, what I do here right now is that there is a new policy that is being introduced by Ghana. Ghana is always on the news for the wrong reasons. First and foremost, they had said that people will not be allowed to travel without having gotten the big Ugali shot. Right now, they did rescind that particular order, and now people can travel without necessarily having gotten the jab or the boosters, or all these are different requirements that had given out. But right now, they have decided to introduce something else, which is they are saying that there will be a policy. They will be putting in place a policy which is known as the Akwaba Insurance. The Akwaba Insurance. And Akwaba, of course, is where we do have these international airport. It's at Akwaba. So what they are doing is that they are introducing a new insurance requirement. So the Ghana National the Ghana National Insurance Commission is asking the public to disregard a report of mandatory Akwaba policy for international travelers. So what they had done is initially they had said that they would be introducing a commission that they would. It's called the Akwaba Insurance, which would be supposed to be paid by international travelers when they are actually coming in or going out, and this is making it even difficult for people to travel into and out of Ghana. But I see on the latest news here that they have said that some authorities have said they should disregard it, but that is what was said yesterday. that they wanted to bring up an insurance which would be to cover international travelers who are coming in, also international travelers are going out. So this would make it difficult even for Ghana to be a tourist destination. So there are conflicting reports. The report I had seen a little bit earlier on was a report that these Aquaba insurance was supposed to be introduced, and then right now I understand that one of the agencies here has said that it should not be regarded with a lot of seriousness. That is what I do see going on with Ghana.
ICK Williams is saying that it is true that they bought their cousin back to life. How did they do that? Because I'm still trying to understand. Okay, he's saying that they have a machine that they are using to do that, but I can still understand.
It is crazy.
We are going into the global reset, and this global reset, of course, I bet it involves having these crackers get being transhuman, part machine and part human, because I do not understand how they would do it, but I am sure they are doing it. They will be doing it.
Some of this history has begun kind of a long way back, because I remember there's a time we used to discuss when we were kids, we used to discuss a lot about bodies, and there's a time we saw someone with a different eye, like the eyeballs were different. So I was like, why is it different? And I remember...
Was it a contact lens?
No, not really. I remember, I don't know who, but I think it was an adult who gave me the information that it was from a goat. That if you have some, eye problem, they replace it with an animal's eye. So I don't know how true that is.
This is happening. Even if there's a heart, you can be donated a heart from a pig. Yeah, I seen that they successfully did that, and this Mzungus. It was.
So you mean to say our hearts
last
are the same
year?
like the
No.
animals? So how?
I don't.
Was it transplant? You saying they got what?
Not even a goat. A pig's heart was transferred to a human body, and it was working.
That's crazy.
I do not know how compatible these two are.
That's crazy. But okay, I think you can call him. Keith wants you to call him.
Okay. Another two account I'm calling here. Last week, a surgeon successfully transplanted a genetically modified pig heart into a man with life-threatening heart failure. So I understand it can be done. I understand it actually can be done. I did not know you can get the heart of modified pig. It has to be modified pig heart.
Saying that it is called second chance.
Who is saying that?
Jay Williams. I still don't understand.
I actually even hadn't seen the comment from Key Williams. Are you saying of your cousin? Let me see.
Yeah.
The only creatures getting animal parts are Mzungus. We are the only humans. And let me see what you were saying earlier on, Key Williams. I think I might have missed your comment from earlier. They want to prolong their stay on this planet through cryogenics, but their time is up. I was saying transhumanism is the next thing that they will be on to right now.
I still want to understand, how do we share a heart with an animal?
Saying it's genetically modified. They have modified it some way. That is what I do see from this report. Last week's surgeon successfully. That was in January 2022. Transplanting a heart pigs into humans offers promise. So I do know that there is a high demand for organs. That is why you hear people disappearing, and in many different places you hear there is a human organ trafficking. For example, in Malawi, not just in Malawi, but across the continent of Africa. So I know there is a high demand for that, and even them getting them from pigs, which are genetically modified. In many cases, not many will get them from pigs. Many will just abduct people and try to transplant them. Hi, Keith. Hello, Keith. Hi, Keith.
Can you hear? Keith, can you hear us?
Oh, my mute.
There it is.
Hi, Keith.
Am I muted? What's going on?
No, you're not muted.
You about to hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that was me. All right. Okay, first of all, let me say, see, the thing, Africa's so behind in education. you guys see, understand how the human body works is weird. This is crazy, you know? Your ancestors knew this years ago. But it doesn't listen. That's why I told you the white people are created. There's no such thing as death. You guys been given fake religion, don't understand how science works. You live forever. Because you are a being that really never dies. The body is an illusion. I'm going to try to teach you guys. White man's learning all this. The body is a damn illusion. So what you're seeing is, right, what you understand, what you're seeing is, if somebody texts, okay, the bigger godly is about science. If somebody attaches your old genetics back to you again, that means you never die. So somebody manipulated our RNA genes years ago to make sure we have lifespan. If your RNA is put back together, you know you will never die in the physical. I'm sure the person that put us in this low vibrational thing wanted to make sure that we would die and keep recycling our energy so you wouldn't know enough. Guys, give me a second.
It's all right. It's all right. I see a comment here from Simona using a SKT pig's heart transplant. Why genetics and pig are compatible. And also, she's saying, yep, when they steal our organs, they have to take those anti-rejection drugs and have multiple transplants. And I also saying they put bionic body parts on people. Look it up, Katie. They put bionic body parts on people. And also, Sister Nisha saying, yes, we are in an avatar. And also, did I miss any other comment here?
Yeah. Yeah, just Charlie, yeah, give me a second. Go on, Charlie. Give me a second.
I see this is just a comment from Sister Anisha. So I was just saying with this whole global reset, and apart from the global reset, where we are getting into right now, I understand from Klaus Schwab, you know, he was talking about how you can even just get to talk and things get to happen simply because you are connected with the machines. And for example, if you wanted to lock your fridge, then maybe perhaps you can simply just do it without even moving your hands or moving your fingers, because you and the system, you know, you are connected to the network, and the network is also connected to that fridge, and therefore you can just
Magnet.
not with the magnet. I'm just saying, like, you are, what can I call it? There is the Internet of Things, so everything is really connected. And apart from the Internet of Things, there is also now how the human, the brain can also be connected, so that you're giving orders, and those orders are actually done without you having to move, you know, to move even from where you are. I bet that is what they want to do with the transhumanism. And I think there was an interview with the World Economic Forum boss. His name is Klaus Schwab, who was saying that that is where the people also want to get to. They would say it's advancement in technology, but for me, I do see this is dependence on technology, and we shall get to a point where we cannot really be able to do much on our own self, which means we are not strengthened, or we are not. This is not a real positive. It's not a real win. You would say you are advancing well in technology, but the reliance on this technology is way too much, such that, you know, your survival is also threatened in case this technology crashes. You see, so this means that now you move from depending on your own self, your own thoughts, your own body, and now everything else can be done for you by the machine, which makes us really sort of useless in some sort of a way. Because if everything is done for you, then it means that you just have there, all you need to do is survive, eat, and everything else is done for you, which is not anything. The kind of a future that we are looking into right now, I think the people of the future, the people, you know, maybe perhaps 60 years from now, or maybe 100 years from now, they might not be able to enjoy life in reality as we are able to enjoy it. And now, seeing that we are stepping into all of the metaverse, where you can just get hooked onto a computer and you are in a party, you know, get hooked into a computer and you're in a class.
That's your choice to get up in that shit. You don't have to, join that shit. But like I said, you don't know science. The African's been made silly and doesn't know. He's been made over religious with idiotic shit. You don't have to be up in that shit. And you keep acting like you don't got no choice. You're just gonna decide to go up in that shit. You're not gonna go up in that shit. Unless you're a moron. You know, it's about your soul and trying to destroy your existence. That's what you got to understand. It's about trying to destroy your existence on this planet. That's what this is about. So understand that there's no such thing as death. See, Africans been given so much dumb religion, so much dumb shit doesn't know reality anymore. Oh, I'm scared to die in Jesus in hell. You've been given moronic child, like Dr. Mummy told you, you're a goddamn child now. You believe in stupid shit. You know how the universe works. You don't know anything about real science, so you think death is real. There's no death.
Kid, I still want you to understand it is no one's fault. You know, it is no one's fault. Even me, I'll speak from my own perspective, and why sometimes I feel hurt when I hear, you know, the time that Africans have done this. You know, everyone is in the process of waking up. When you told me the thing to do with Jesus, I was shocked. You know, I couldn't believe it. You know, I was still in shock. Up to date, I still try to process that in my head. You know, it is a shock to everyone. So no one is going to wake up immediately. You know, oh, you know, Jesus is a lie. No one is going to believe, especially Lukman, because I remember the first time I questioned, they looked at me like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" So. No.
That is the thing, you know, people get to understand things at different paces. People get to understand things at different paces, and it's also crazy. But nonetheless, just put it on mute and out of mute. So what happens is that people get to wake up at different paces. Yes, I get to agree with you. But also what needs to be done is that people also need to, you know, each one teach one. That is the exact thing we need to do. Each one get to teach one and get to play a role in terms of awakening our brothers and our sisters. But I want to go into the matters of the day, which is the corruption in Nigeria.
Spike. Let me explain this. Let me explain this so they can understand correctly. Let me make sure these ladies understand correctly what I'm talking about. You can understand, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, what I'm saying. Okay. What I'm saying is, I'm not blaming the African Joe. Stop getting so sensitive. I'm not blaming us because we didn't know that here. We just as dumb over here. We're not too much more smarter than you. I'm not, as African people, we're all been made stupid by this European. They've taken our science. The stuff that you're scared of, I told you, witchcraft, which is science, right? Which is actually what's real, which is real science, girl, real science. And these are things that your ancestors used to, things that your ancestors knew. They knew these things. So, they knew there was no such thing as death, and your body is an avatar, Joe. They knew this. Your body is an avatar. I told you, you are a light being inside your body. You're only Joby this light. Joby is not who you are, it's who you are this light. It's not who or what you are. Okay, so, with the Europeans, the reason why the European came to America, even came to America, because the Moors would teach them these things about life being infinite, right? About life, about not dying. Because they pull this up. Pull this up. I want to let the girls know. There was say Ponce de Leon, who was Spanish, was looking came to Florida or America looking for the fountain of youth. Fountain of youth means you never die. So I need to explain this to Joby and Katie so they really understand it. Give me a second. Tell me when you find it. Ponce de Leon. Poncedeleon. Ponce de Leon. Did you find him? when all this stuff came from me. You know, all this science came from you.
Saying you were supposedly searching for the fountain of youth in 1593.
Hey,
1513, yeah.
fountain of youth means you never die, means you always stay young. As Katie said, she's afraid to get old. So, as Katie said, she's afraid to get old, right?
Afraid.
So, understanding what the fountain of youth was concerning us as a people, the African knew scientifically that there's no such thing as death. Through your religions, you've been given nothing but lies. So the European is going back with all the African science that he stole out of Africa. And so, if you can reattach your RNA to your RNA, if you look at your DNA and your RNA has been cut. As Spike put up your RNA, he will see, as Spike put up the image of your RNA, he sees only one helix instead of a double helix. Your DNA is a double helix, your RNA is one helix. Someone cut your RNA because you would live forever in the physical. That means you would never die in the physical. Someone, as we were losing vibration, cut our RNA gene. So Spikes pulls up an image. So Spikes say images of RNA.
Let me see.
Images of RNA. If Spikes pulls that up, you will see that it's only one helix instead of a double helix. See, all this stuff you're supposed to learn instead of Jesus, 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 Allah, 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 Allah. You're not supposed to be a moron and scared of science. You're supposed to know these things because as African people, you were the knowledge bringers on the planet. The knowledge came from you. And now African people are scared of knowledge. Call it witchcraft. And you're bringing people back to life. There's no such thing as death. This is an illusion. You are eternal. That's why you live lifetime after lifetime, just in different bodies. Because somebody's hacked our RNA code. Can you see it, Spikes?
Yeah, I do see how it's
images of.
Yeah, it has.
Okay, you see it only has one helix, right?
Yeah, it has one.
Exactly. So that means somebody cut that helix back. Somebody cut the other helix because your DNA has two helixes. If you pump your DNA, you'll see it's double. So if they connect, the white man has learned this from all the African texts that he stole. If you're able to connect that other RNA helix, this cracker will live forever. That's what we're trying to figure out. Because they're dying out now. This ancient Africans, I told you Africans were geniuses, Spike. That's why the cracker, the white man you see is created. It's hard for y'all to understand it because your minds are, sadly enough, excuse my language, I love it, are simple-minded. You're simpletons, you're simple-minded. You don't understand how genetics works. You don't understand how people create things. But now, when Katie said they used a pig heart for their white man, they can use it because it's an animal.
Oh, it was a white
The white man is an animal. When I say they were created from dogs and chimpanzees, that's real. That's in their genetic coding. So when you're looking at a white man, that's a created, humanized animal. Then you gotta ask, who did it? Who created this cracker and this East Indian and this Asian? Because they're not natural to the planet. They all got animal genes, all of them. So then you gotta answer, who the fuck did it then? Who did it? Who created an animal that you're a human? Who did it?
That's the African.
Yeah, and they told you they did it too. They told you we fucked up. They said we fucked up with these genetics and we made shit we shouldn't have made. That's in the writing. said we fucked up and we fucked around and made. That's why the white man's called the creator. They didn't call him white man. The African called him the Tamahu. Created white man is what they called him. Because they knew they had created his ass. That's on all the walls of Kemet and Kush, which is modern day northern Sudan and Egypt today. They wrote, we fucked up, fucked around with the genetics and created this beast. They're not ever, they said it was some renegade priests, renegade scientists. They said it was some renegade Africans who were fucking around with genetics and were doing stuff in secret. They said they were doing stuff that's about this cracker. All these people created in secret. And every text shows you that. When the white man comes in the air like, whoa, what is this thing? What is this white skin? This is not normal. So when you guys have a child like mine, you don't understand genetics. You think it's, oh my God, this is crazy, this is weird. It ain't weird. It's nothing but science. How you make fucking animals into humans. And guess, and there's two people sitting there, like, whose genetics they use? Whose genetics do you think they use, right?
Black woman's genetics.
That's right. Since she's got the most superior genetics, they use her genetics. That's why Joby and Katie's genes are in every person on this planet. They knew that she was the closest thing to God, and they used her genetics to create these other beings by mixing them with animals. Joby's genes is in the Asians, Katie's genes is in the East Indian, Joby's genes is in the Caucasians, Katie's genes is in the Caucasian. Every non-African has black women's genes. These are facts of science, facts of biology, mixed with animal parts. Dog, chip, orangutan, all kind of shit. Because that orangutan is ugly.
Exactly.
I told her
So,
they started
now-
talking recently. Go on.
Say it again, Spikes.
No.
So then, I think it's, I don't know if it's a karmic debt, but it's fucked up when we went to sleep. How these people now conquer this, and you don't know you're sleeping with a humanized animal. I think that's the most wickedest shit, that we don't even know that no more that you're sleeping. All these black women running around Tanzania and Kenya sleeping with this humanized animal. That's why they got rice in their head, Joby and Katie, like an animal. You know why you don't got rice? Because you don't have animal genetics. So you don't understand science because you're taught in like a kindergarten religion. So how the Dr. Mommy got it right? Your religion is like being in kindergarten. Keeps you dumb and stupid. Simple-minded. What you guys looking up?
No, I was just checking on the orangutan because I've been hearing you guys speaking about it. So, yeah, I've just seen it.
What you looking up, Joby? What you looking up?
The orangutan, however you pronounce it, orangutan.
Orangutan.
Yeah, that's Katie's best friend. That's Katie's best friend.
No.
Go back and look at Katie's video confirmation session. Katie's face was so wonderful, was so funny, was so shocking to her. She's like, no.
She was just traumatized. And thank you on you joining us. You say I'm listening, but I'm fixing to work the hell out of these jump rope. You will be right back. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. I hope that you also get to yeah. Well,
Yeah, you understand? I want you guys to know these things so you won't be like You think things are crazy. The reason why you can give them a pig heart, because virtually everything was created from the black woman's genetics. And most animals have black woman's genetics. Even the animal. Even most of these animals that were created, put us on spikes, say does the dog. The dog is a created thing. Say does the dog have human genetics? Pull that up. Does the dog have human genetics?
A dog?
Dog. D-O-G. Does the dog have human genetics? He said, well, how's the dog have human genetics? How? Does the cat? The cat was created, we'll pull that up. So does the dog have human DNA?
It does. They're saying,
I know the answer. Yes.
it does.
Yes.
They're saying,
So how do
they're saying on the whole, only 25% of the DNA sequence in a dog genome exactly matches the human sequence. When the tiny changes in the other 75% of the DNA are piled up across to 25,000 genes and across trillions of cells in the body, the results are in the different organisms. So he's saying 25% of the DNA sequence in the dog genome exactly matches the human sequence. That
But
is.
why is it when a dog bites you? Why is it when a dog bites you, it is poisonous? If
Rabies? Getting rabies?
yeah, like when a dog bites you, why is it that it is poisonous? Some dogs are poisonous, right? So why is it like?
No, not all dogs. That's if he's sick. That's rabies. Not every dog has rabies. So that's a dog that's sick. Not every dog has rabies.
But every time, I've had cases every time when somebody is bitten by a dog, you have to go to the hospital, get injected.
Listen, they're talking about a tetanus. You have to make sure that they don't know whether the dog has rabies or not, Katie. So they do that to make sure that you're safe. They don't know whether the dog, unless you capture the dog, you don't know if the dog is sick or not. So they do that as a precaution, Katie.
Oh, I get
They do that as a precaution. Yes, they don't know. They unless they catch the dogs, Katie. When the dog bites you, it runs away. So they don't know if the dog is called having rabies, rabbit, crazy. So they don't know. So they go to the hospital and give you penicillin just in case. They don't know if it does or not. So that's why they go to the hospital and give you penicillin just in case, Kate. Just in case. Because I don't know if the dog was rabid or not.
I get.
That doesn't mean the dog was, that doesn't mean the dog was sick. But it could be. We don't know. We don't know. So I told you all these diseases, that's why you find them sleeping with dogs and animals. Because they got, that's why you ask me, Kate, how can anyone be attracted to orangutan? Because they got animal genetics, Katie. We don't understand till we know about them. That they sleep with dolphins and dogs and horses and all crazy shit. You won't find no African man sleeping with no orangutan.
They probably will be sleeping with the chimpanzees and the bonobos as well. Because I see the humans are.
They have slept with chimpanzees. They have some women. White women sleep with chimpanzees. White women let the chimp fuck them. And also the dog.
And the
donkey.
They like that,
and the bonobos.
I don't know, but I don't know, but yeah, they do. It's called a donkey show. Now this is nasty. I'm not gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you guys something that's nasty. Like in some countries, there are things. Put us on spikes.
Yeah.
Put up. How many countries have donkey shows?
Donkey shows?
It's usually down in Mexico. Donkey show. How many countries have donkey show where the lady fucks a donkey? Yes, I'm on Google. How many countries have donkey shows? I know it's in Mexico, but I've seen it.
It's known as Tijuana.
I was like, God damn, that's nasty. Huh?
Tijuana has donkey shows. Tijuana.
That's right. Tijuana, Mexico. That's where I saw it. That's down 2 hours south of Los Angeles. I was 18 years old. I was like, oh, oh my God, no. Oh, I was like Katie. I was like, oh my God, no, oh my God. This lady's having sex with a donkey. Oh no. Jesus, Lord Jesus. I was still in the Jesus. Oh, Jesus, Lord Jesus.
You're traumatized and shaken to the core. Kid did not even have his meals for 2 weeks. He almost starved after the traumatizing experience in Tijuana there in seeing this donkey show. And
I said, no, this can't be true. This lady started having sex with a donkey. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, Lord, please, man. Lord Jesus. I said, where's Toby? And Jesus said, they're not even born yet. They're not even born. Oh, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus.
Yeah, the stories out there about disability. Anyhow, family, we're winding up with today's episode of the Rhythm Scoop Show. And also, we do hope that you join us on the Tuesday Daily 254 show.
I want that's the same donkey that Muhammad flew to heaven on that lady was having sex with.
It was the exact same one.
Donkey?
It was the exact same one. It was the exact same one. I'm saying
that shit was funny.
It was the exact same one, and they weren't making it atone for its sins. That is what they were doing with it on the Donkey Show. But finally, thank you so much for being with us. Yeah.
Let me say one more thing. I want Katie and Joe and you guys to understand. These people can never be your gods. These people were created by your ancient African ancestors. That's what the genetics show. You need to know that's why they sleep with animals. These are facts. That's why Spice can pull up a donkey show.
Yeah.
You're like, donkey? Who's having sex with a donkey? An orangutan. Much love, man.
Much love, family. Thank you for being with us on the broadcast. And K. Williams, Sister Nish.
When I get the Kenya Spike, I bet not buy you fucking no donkeys. I'm a buy.
That is the culture here. It's a rite of passage, kid. It's a rite of passage. It's a mandatory whether you like it or not. But anyhow, family, thank you so much for being with us on the broadcast. We hope that you get to also join us on the Tuesday 254 show. For right now, we sign out. We leave you this wonderful jam. It's the same by Lex the Wolf. Thank you, and catch you up on the other show.
Kwaheri.
Lies are living